Hello, Grand Rising beloveds. Thanks for tuning Blaque in once again to Authentic Black Goddess TV. I'm your host, QueenAShakur, and this is your second morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. You can follow me on Instagram at QueenAShakur. You can also follow the QueenAShakur fan page. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at DGoddess27. All right? So let's get into it. Black to Black, Trisha, October, Brand Slayer TV, Sweet Great Mom, Monica Matthews, Christopher Perkins, Lee, and Danielle. Shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone tuned into the Queen. We got Workout 2018. Mark Ayers from the UK is Black. Yusuf, all right. Brianna, I see you. Antoinette, Ben Cephas. Okay, so shout out to everyone in the chat, everyone tuned into the Queen. Let's get into it, okay? Now listen to this. I want y'all to pay attention, honey. These people get so crazy over mask mandates. I mean, not that I agree or disagree with the mask mandates, but here's the thing. Well, you can complain about it. You cannot, abide by it, whatever you want to do, but why do you have to resort to violence? And I want you to pay attention to exactly who and just who is resorting to this violence. Because you see, they try to make Black people seem like we're so violent and nefarious. This is what they always try to do. And act as though we can't abide by the laws. Here's the thing. I think that when we see that some people, a specific group of people are willing to go get guns, explosives, to make threats and all of these things over simply having to wear a mask, I think that's absolutely deplorable. And it really shows who is most prone to violence. Because that's absolutely nothing to get violent about. Like I said, you can be upset, you can disagree. Well, if you disagree, just don't wear your thing. I'm not going to tell you not to wear it, but you know what I'm saying, because you know how ScrewTube is. But my thing is, if you don't want to comply, then just don't. But you don't have to go around talking about burning down buildings and shooting up schools and all that stuff. It's all so crazy and clearly nefarious. Okay, now listen to this. Police say that a man opposed to school mask mandate threatens to burn down his son's school. Yes, that's true. And I'm going to show you who it was. It was Brad, of course. It was Brad. But like I said, we're supposed to be so nefarious. And I want you to pay attention, people. I want you to pay attention. Because here's the thing. That's Brad right there. I want you to pay attention to something, right? Now, when there's a Black person killed unarmed by the police, and you know how Black people go out there and riot and protest in the streets? Well, you're angry. Those of you who go out there and protest, it's because you're angry. You're hurt. You're grieving. You're upset. You feel victimized. Because if they did it to one, they can do it to any of us. I know the feeling. But here's the thing. They try to act like we're so nefarious and talk about, oh, they're destructing property, they're tearing down property and this and that. Well, what do they call it when they get so angry and they go and cause a whole insurrection at the Capitol? They were tearing property down. Weren't they tearing up the Capitol, breaking glass and all those things, putting feces all over the walls? It was also disgusting. They did all of that. Right? Weren't they rioting and looting because they stole things from the Capitol? Let's not forget. Didn't Pelosi's laptop come up missing? And that wasn't the only thing. Remember, days later, someone was arrested because they stole something off of one of the desks or whatever. I'm sure they stole a lot while they were there. Okay? But at the end of the day, they don't talk about them the way they do our people. And when our people are angry in the streets protesting, they have a legitimate reason. Okay? They have a serious grievance. So these people who want to cause all this destruction and melee just over mask mandates are because their football or basketball team lost or their hockey team. They're just inherently violent. All right, that's what they are. Okay, so listen to this. Miami-Dade police arrested a 37-year-old man on Monday on accusations that he threatened to burn down his son's private Jewish school. All right? Are they going to call him anti-Semitic like they did Whoopi Goldberg? I want you to pay attention. This man threatened to burn down his son's private Jewish school. Now, are they going to deem him as anti-Semitic? And you can say, well, maybe he's Jewish too. I don't care. That doesn't mean anything. Isn't Whoopi Jewish? Her last name is Goldberg, right? I'm just saying. So anyway, according to Mark Polyakov's arrest report, his son was expelled from Sheikh Hillel Community School last week over comments that Polyakov made on a chat involving other parents, and the chat was named "No More Mask Halil." Now, police say Polyakov posted several messages on the chat, including, "You should have told that board member to go F yourself." That's what he said to someone on there. He says, "We will leave and burn Hillel down to the ground. That's why their rankings have steadily gone down." What's his name? This board member of which you speak. Apparently, he was going to give that board member the smoke and the business. Now, according to the arrest report, Polyakov also posted a picture of the school's athletic field and wrote, "I want to burn this school to the effing ground." Was he mad or was he mad? He says, "This is what they are doing outside, forcing effing masks in 80 degrees. You can't be nice. Gets you nowhere." Now, let me tell you something, the difference. I want you to pay attention because there's a stark contrast in the way the devils deal with anger and issues than how we deal with it. Now, this man said, "You can't be nice. Gets you nowhere." I agree. Getting nice often does get you nowhere in certain instances. Black people, I'm going to need y'all to marinate on that because y'all be getting nice when you don't need to. You see, like when Amber Geiger slaughtered Botham John in his own apartment, minding his own black business. And she went to court and she was on trial. And his family said they didn't want her to go to prison. His brother said he wanted to be friends with her. He was being so nice. Where was that going to get any of them who were left behind to grieve after Botham John was killed? Right? Black people always talking about forgiveness after Dylan Roof shot up those 9 people in the church in South Carolina. The black people quickly said before the bodies were cold in the ground, "We forgive him." Why? He didn't even ask you to forgive him, but you do. So crazy, right? So crazy. You can't be nice, black people. It gets you absolutely nowhere. You have a right to be angry when you feel oppressed. The Bible says, "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad." And that's no allegory, but that's a fact. Okay? Now, Polyakov was also ordered not to return to the school campus. So, now listen to this. I skipped over something. Hold on. This is the part I left out. Hold on. The police said that an anonymous parent reported the comments last week to the school's administration, and Polyakov's son was then expelled from the school as a result. Now, Polyakov was also ordered to stay off the school campus and never to return. Police said that Polyakov took to the parents' chat again on Thursday. Now, this is after they told him to stay off and his son got expelled. He says, "I just got kicked out of Hillel. I will burn this school down." So still talking about burning it down even after they told him to stay away from the campus and kick the son out. So he was taken into custody Monday at his home in Sunny Isles Beach. Police said he invoked his right not to speak to the detectives. Polyakov faces 1 count of written threats to kill or do bodily harm. So I'm just telling you, all that violence because he didn't like those mask mandates. He could have just homeschooled his kids. I mean, there were other options. You see, this isn't about options. This is about them not getting their way. I want you to pay attention because it's deeper than this. You see, we may not agree with the mandates either, but we don't resort to violence. The difference is these people who resort to violence just because they don't get their way. I want you to pay attention to the sense of entitlement. This is why they stormed the Capitol. This is why they went to the Capitol in Michigan and threatened to kill the governor, Gretchen Whitmer. This is why they plotted to kidnap her and try her for treason. And if found guilty, they wanted to murder her. This is why this man threatened to burn down the school. This is why Dylann Roof killed those black people in the church. This is why that white man shot up those black people in Kroger in Louisville, Kentucky. They did all of this. These people of which I speak, they all did this, every last one of them, because they felt entitled. They felt like they had the rights. They felt like they were owed something. And if they didn't get their way, they were going to do something about it. That's how they feel. Okay? Dylann Roof doesn't like black people. God bless that foolish coon Negro who said that he was friends with him. Honey, you might have been friends with him, but he wasn't friends with you. But at the end of the day, these people feel entitled. They feel like they can do whatever they want, whenever they want. Nobody better not tell them the difference. Okay? That's just what it is. They feel like everybody owes it to them to let them have their way. I want you to pay attention. Because these people who call us violent, they resort to violence just simply because they don't get their way. The husband who murders his wife and children because they didn't get their way in the divorce settlement or whatever, or because the divorce proceedings, they knew they'd lose everything or half of what they got. These are the type of people who do this. Chris Watts, the man who murdered his pregnant wife and his daughters. All because he knew he wasn't going to get his way in the divorce once it was aired out that he was having a whole affair with his wife's own friend. So let me just kill them. So I didn't have to worry about it. That's a sense of entitlement. Okay? That's because you don't get their way. Now, mind you, there's black people who murder their families too, but for different reasons. Not that that's any better. But what I'm saying is many of the racists, they feel absolutely entitled to things. And if they don't get their way, violence is always what they resort to. Why they tell you and me, when we don't get our way, just forget about it. Stop talking about it. Just be quiet. Don't take a knee. Don't go out there and protest. Just forget about it. But that's not what they do. They resort to violence. Now listen to this. Deputies say that a father is accused of beating his 9-year-old son over iPad app charges or purchases. So a Palm Coast man is accused of beating his 9-year-old son after he and his younger brother made several iPad app purchases. Deputies said Andrew Ackerson picked up his son and threw him against the walls and the closets in their home on February the 3rd. The alleged beating left bruises under both of the boy's eyes, his left hip, and his upper back right shoulder. So he punched this kid in the face. All right. This kid had 2 black eyes. They're saying bruises under both his eyes. No, they were black eyes. Bruises under your eyes are called black eyes, are they not? I just say this because I want you to pay attention to how they word stuff when they write these articles. Bruises under his eyes, that's called black eyes. He clearly gave that child 2 black eyes. It's so sad. Who does that? Now, according to the Flagler Sheriff's Office, the child's mother reported the incident after picking him up from school and seeing the bruises. When Ackerson was questioned about the bruises, he told the Florida Department of Children's and Family Services, DCF, he said, I might have overpunished him a little bit. Oh, you think? How would he like it if someone picked him up and threw him into a wall and punched him in his face? How would he like that? But you're going to do that to a child? That really gets my goat. Now, since 2004, Ackerson has faced 20 different charges in California and Florida, according to authorities. Deputies said 6 of those were for battery. Clearly violence. The department said in 2017, Ackerson was arrested for felony domestic battery when he attacked his wife while the children watched. They say no child should ever have to endure what this man did to this child. It appears this man has no ability to control his rage. Parents have the right to discipline their children, but cannot go overboard, which happened in this case. Now, a more appropriate discipline would have been to restrict access to the iPad or make them do chores around the house to pay for the items they ordered, not to beat their child. I'm thankful the mother reported her observations and the work our detectives and DCF did in this case, to protect the children. Child abuse victims often have to live with those scars forever. Absolutely. Atkinson was arrested on felony child abuse charges and booked into the Sheriff Perry Hall as an inmate. All right? Sheriff Perry Hall inmate detention facility. He remains behind bars on a $12,500 bond. It should be higher than that, in my opinion. All right? He's clearly nefarious. And yeah, and let me just show you a picture of him. It's another Brad. That's him. Now, one thing I will say, in this case, the mother reported the abuse, as she should have. So good thing she did that. But remember the other case I spoke about the other day with the poor little baby, just yesterday, with the poor little infant who was 8 months old. And the father got mad because he was playing virtual video games. And the baby was crying. So he thought it was a good idea to pick that baby up in his anger and rage and threw it into the wall, fracturing that baby's skull. Some of these people are wicked and don't deserve children. Some people just don't need children. Trisha said, looking like Curious George. Vince I Am says he can't even fake anything. Dead, vacant eyes as usual. Absolutely. That guy from Texas says, did you see the video of the kid in the mall who was defending himself against a white bully and the cops arrested him and the white kid? No. Could you please do me a favor, beloved, and send me that? I didn't see it. Those video games can be a gateway to the wrong, says Queen Adada. Yep. DB Truth says, I don't believe it was the first time he abused those kids and her. Of course not. I don't believe it. He's probably been doing this. Listen, all those times he got arrested in previous years, it was likely for doing just that. Okay? Jay Perry says, hey, Queen, I'm late, but I'm here and I'm black and proud. Everyone have a wonderful day on purpose. Thank you, beloved. Same to you. Okay? But we're about to close out. This video is about to conclude, beloved, so you have to watch the replay because I'm about to go on the original Queen QueenAShakur channel for your last morning wake-up call. We got to talk about what Dr. Dre says about the Super Bowl events performance. We're going to talk about that, okay? March Baby says, my daughter hit the button for a $40 purchase on Candy Crush when I was playing the game. I didn't punch her in the face or in the eye. I was upset, but I didn't punch her. Exactly. Not a $40 game on Candy Crush, beloved. Okay? Pink Blue says, yes, I seen that. 2 white cops gang up on black child, but white child hit black boy first. Wow. You see how that goes down? You see how that goes down, right? Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to look that up because I'm going to have to report on that. Everyone, please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell so that you know when the Queen Goddess goes live. And you can follow me on Instagram at QueenAmadiahShakur. Also follow the Queen QueenAmadiahShakur fan page, and you can find me on Twitter at DGoddess27. All right, hope to see you in the next chat starting right now.